All right, everyone, we are back. I am Zombie Bacon. I'm here with Carlos. Carlos, we just had a great game of TBD versus Depth.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. Again, it came out to a tie, which I don't think I don't know who's really expecting that. We kind of went into it. I know we were speaking of that it was going to be a really good game. We didn't know who was going to take the victory, but it did come out to that tie, and there was those few little pop offs from Mackie Moose and a few of the other players on both teams. But it was a
Mm,
really good game to watch.
absolutely. And now we listen to the people. We are the stream of the people. We heard you guys wanted to see Nakudama versus Gnomes, and we're bringing you Nakudama versus Gnomes. Really excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Gnomes was able to pull off the victory in their first game, 7-2, and then Nakadama came out 7-4. So there are both the victory teams coming into this game. Curious to see what kind of strategies they're going to pull off coming into this game.
Yeah, really excited to see. Gnomes is traditionally a very aggressive team, and we're seeing kind of a classic lineup from them. At least for the last season, we're seeing Louis, Skoog, Dylan, Index, and Nog. Basically, four of like Gnome's staple members. We're now seeing Control come out though, and then Nakudama, who I don't think we've seen on stream before. Really exciting to get them out.
Yeah, really excited to see, but it looks like they're going to be starting off inside on game number one, coming in to Storefront. And it looks like they're going to be holding outside here. I really like this setup for Storefront, honestly.
Yeah, I
Bombs
mean,
getting
really solid setup. We're getting they're already on the bomb. Man, Gnomes are just plowing through Nakudama here, about to have a clean round.
clean round one. And like you said in our game number one of the day, to defending this map alone is very difficult. There's so many angles that they can come through. So I'm not very surprised that they came in and just did what they did.
Yeah, really solid stuff. Now, I mean, basically a perfect round. They even managed to save a nade. Um, Not much more you can say about that from in terms of a clean sweep there from Gnomes. Really, man, good stuff. Now, and I think we're getting another Kill Dome map. You always know you can hear the screams. It's the roar of the crowd. It gets your blood going.
Gets it pumped up. Get yourself ready for some good old kill dome.
Yeah, I mean, Kill Dome, great. Broken Sandwich is our map here. Kind of a boring map in a lot of ways, actually, just because of there's one really effective way to take this map, and that is basically going through jungle and beach, in my opinion. I know a lot of people were worried about that castle take, but here's why I don't think that you need to be worried about that. Because the bomb diffuses towards the north, you just really have to smoke off those longer angles in your approach through water, and then you can't really get hit behind that bomb. And I think you could just take those fights. We do see it looks like Gnomes are wanting to go through that beach take, wanting to take beach. I think we may even see a charging castle just to pinch on pit. They do want to clear a lot of that stuff. Um, Personally, not a fan, but unsurprising because when you see why they're taking beach, it's really to go for that power on that northern side of jungle. Go for really aggressive plays, and then just sort of really stretch Nakudama thin here.
It does look like Nakudama is actually going to place two barbed wires over on the castle side. I guess they're assuming that Gnomes is going to be coming through castle again. Like you said, it's kind of just the boring tactic of going through beach and jungle. It may be the boring tactic, but sometimes those boring tactics are what work the best.
I mean, I think there's a lot more effective ways to go about it, but this can't you can't argue with this.
I
Um,
mean, if it worked, if it ain't broke, why fix it? You know what I mean? Coming into this, Gnomes may just be playing through the beach because they know it worked for them. So why change it up now?
yeah, I mean, Gnome's just powering through. Nakudama here taking a lot of eco, really expensive. Both KRMs coming out, not such a wise decision, I don't think. But I think they want that extra punching power here, and they're gonna try and deliver it in any way they can.
So it looks like Dylan's going to be the only one going through beach here. Breaks the door down here, and he's going to have a good angle on the backside. Drops that smoke, and Castle may be the place they do end up going through. They blow through the Castle doors, and it looks like there's going to be a firefight back and forth from the west and the east side of Castle here. Gnomes is going to slowly start to make their way in, and the question is, will they go through pit or will they just go the long way around to get the south side of jungle here? taking a few pot shots into pit, and here comes Gnomes with our hard push. Gets
Ooh,
one wipe, gets two wipes, and you still have Dylan on the back end with that sniper onside of beach, not allowing them to rotate anywhere. And Dylan's just going to start inching his way in. He smells blood, and he wants to get involved here. He's tired of just sitting back and doing nothing. Molotov comes on top of the bomb, and here comes Gnome for their aggressive play. Lewis starts to walk through. If they have a flashbang, it doesn't. It looks like they have one flashbang on No. Question is, will he use it aggressively here? Gets
yeah.
another pick.
Oh,
There goes
index.
Index with a big pick. And Dylan still looping around here. Playing it slow, but he does have that sniper. There goes another pick off from Gnomes. The fusel starts 5v1. That may be all she wrote for Nakudama. Was able to get one on the exit, but
You
that's all
know,
she wrote.
I was just thinking how funny if it would have been if gnomes were able to take 3 attack rounds entirely clean. Unfortunately, their Nog just throws a wrench in that. Um, dies there to Shadow, but either way, great play from gnomes. Really aggressive, and I mean. It's just unfortunate for Midship Walrus and Thunderstrike there. They swung into a 4-man push, which is
Yeah.
never ideal.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I couldn't even really the only time I think I could ever see that working is with a flashbang initiation from Nakudama, and if they had that auto shotgun around that 4-man push. But other than that, I think that's the only possible way that Nakudama wins that 4-man hard push through Gnomes. Now,
Yeah,
if you're Gnomes though here, Bacon, do you keep up with this aggressive play that we've seen in game number one or round number 1 and 2, going into Kill House?
oh, absolutely. I think it works for them. You know, it's hard to argue. I think each team kind of has their style, and I think we're still
Of
feeling
course.
out Nakudama's style. But have always been very aggressive, very proactive in a lot of what they want to do. So with that, it's not surprising, and it's just simply I just think they're better than Nakudama right now. I think I have a lot of faith in Nakudama, but as we see, Nakudama is just calling out the wrong plan right now. They're very worried about this club into a wall charge into brick house take, which isn't going to happen. As we see, they are going. We see gnomes really wanting to focus on that right side of the map there. I think pillbox is really the number one thing they want to take here, and I can't argue with that because wall banks on kill house are so strong, and that pillbox is made up of stone walls, so you're pretty safe in there. I don't think. I
Mhm.
think the only guns that can pen that are high pen guns, so like the Knack, the Legros, and even then they're still taking heavy damage reduction through those walls. So by taking that space and eliminating that, they basically make themselves so much safer because also then utilizing those windows to cut off rotates into brick house from club because they'll own office. It really just comes together in a very aggressive way. We do see though Nakudama already putting out double barbs in office. I like this barb actually on the far right side just because I'm sure gnomes will see that barb. They'll go, okay, I don't want to push that. I'll push into the sight lines of pillbox here and make it a lot easier for me to get picked by Nakudama. But Nakudama here, kind of poor. We see someone on Allegros here, but we see them bringing out 5 mollies, a lot of util they didn't use in the first few rounds.
Wow.
Kind of, I mean, they are rich, and that's 10 seconds each molly. So that's 40 seconds on site alone that they can keep gnomes off of site if they do it correctly.
Now let's just hope though that Nakudama hasn't bit off more than they can chew here. They do have 5 mollies, like you said, so they are somewhat rich in that eco with that 40 seconds. We just gotta hope that they're able to get those mollies off. They don't stack them too heavily on top of each other. You have one guy pushing up a little bit aggressively from Nakudama, holding off Gnomes, doing a really good defense here on the office. Now, if I'm Nakudama, I drop another molly. It looks like they did, but Gnomes does not care about it. Hard pushes through into pillbox, gets 2 early pickoffs here, and it's already a 5v3 situation with Gnome smelling blood. Pushes into brick house, and it looks like they're just gonna death ball the way they've been playing this series so far. Gets 2 more, and it's a 5-on-1 here, 3-on-1 here, but that's gonna be all she wrote for Nakudama.
Yeah, I mean, Nakudama there had a really strong hold, but we didn't see any of those mollies on site really come out. And also, really they're really showing off their new player feel here with a barb on the outside of this office. I don't know why they would do that because that barb was destroyed for free in complete protection by gnomes by
Yeah.
just throwing the nade there. They can't capitalize off of that at all. I'm really unsure as to why they didn't place it on this side of the door if they wanted that kind of placement to prevent that sort of bloom out from that push. I think that's just a matter of them still being fairly new to the competitive scene in terms of not in terms of scrimming, but in terms of performing in a Swiss style like this. So Nakudama is definitely on the higher end of a lot of the new teams here, but I think they're going to struggle against tried and true competitors like Gnomes.
I think if I'm Nakudama, I think I go into this kind of like you said, they are the newer team here. Gnomes has been around for a decent amount of time. They're all experienced players, and not saying Nakudama doesn't have the experienced players, but coming in and playing just kind of in quotation pug matches with your team against players and even basic scrims, it will never attest and never equal what a real tournament is. So I think if I'm Nakudama, I come in here. I get the strategies that Gnome are using. Maybe they try to pick it up. Maybe they try to pick up the death ball that Gnomes has done, and maybe they try to see if they can adapt to something like that, or maybe they just come in and start having a little bit of fun going into these games. I know a lot of teams, especially across the genre of games, when they're against teams that they know that they just aren't better than, they go in and have fun. And I've seen some crazy things happen in my time of being a gamer and just being a commentator. The teams that go in that expect to lose, you'd be surprised on what they can accomplish when they just go in and have some fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I think beyond that, this is where Nakudama is going to have a lot more flexibility. In terms of new teams, what we tend to see, we tend to see a lot of struggle with defense. It tends to be so much harder to grasp those kind of creative concepts, but where new teams, I think, always throw a wrench into these sort of tried and true competitors is on attack because they're coming at it with a clean slate. They're not thinking like this is what I used to do and like the old
Yeah.
man, like back in my day, we would always wall charge the storefront because that's what you do. And that's not what we're going to see necessarily from Nakadama all the time. We do see a wall charge coming out, but I like the split push. They're really wanting to push heavy on this western side of the map to then force Gnomes back, and I think just sort of wave clear it. Um, Really interesting hold though. We do see Louis playing the knack on the bomb, and I'm really scared here actually for Skoog in that corner, particularly because he's just right in that pinch, and I think he might be the first one to go.
Now is this a store that you're gonna go to because this arcade's a little bit bigger for you?
No, there's only two DDR machines. Not worth my time.
It's not
Honestly,
worth your time. Okay.
yeah, beneath me. Who wants to play racing games in 2021? Lames.
Are they
That's pretty
VR
simple.
racing games? That's the
No,
question.
even then, doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Can't dance. Don't want to go. And plus, I can't dance with anybody. There's no like double machines.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to go either. But it looks like Nakudama's gonna be pushing in here pretty aggressively through bathrooms and is gonna have the gnome rotate out. And it looks like Nakudama's gonna be able to take over bathrooms here. Storefronts is slowly starting to get pushed up. Gets one pick off. 5v4 for Gnomes at the moment, and it looks like Nakudama is taking a little bit too much time on the outside of bathrooms. If they were going to play this, they had to play it a little bit more aggressively. Gnomes was able to set themselves up in a position to just be prepared at this point. They have every angle
Oh
under
man,
control, and they
look
just
at those! Look at those
wipe
health
them
bars.
clean.
Interesting thing to note though, talking about new players again, Nakudama, I think we're actually shotgunning those bathroom doors. You don't have to shotgun bathroom doors. They are free to open. C-store, your bathroom, and your freezer doors are entirely free. You do not have to shotgun them there. And I think that really, it looked like that kind of slowed down a lot of the Nakudama strategy there. And then because of those sort of hiccups and waiting for doors to be shotgun, I think they didn't have as much of a cohesive attack as they needed. And granted, it just kind of fell apart from there, unfortunately.
The only thing I could think of why they shotgun those doors, to my knowledge, those doors are paper thin. So just the rare occurrence that someone, I'm not saying gnomes would go down, but I know obviously in some pug matches, some people want to play right up to those doors and kind of open those doors and play that aggressor. Just in the small case, and this is the only thing that I can think of why Nakudama did it was, you never know if gnomes is going to try to cheese you because I think they know at this point that they do have the upper hand with skill and experience coming into this match. So maybe they try to pull something out. They pull a strat that they wouldn't usually try against a different team. Again, they pull it out against Nakudama to see if they work. So that's really the only thing I can think about.
Yeah, for sure. And now I think Nakudama's making the right choice here. Looks like they're wanting to go for a full eco. Gnomes is expecting that though. Look at those two barbs on the north side. We have two barbs in
Yeah.
base. Um, really easy to hold, but also very effective to flash through those barbs. I think one smoke in jungle can really make that push even more effective. But I like the plan here. They're saying, you know what? We are a team. We need to play this cohesively. So they're going to go on that beach push. They're bringing out the saber. I do see looking at that power, which is 100%. I think what they need to do here. This bomb is great for taking that north side, denying a lot of that rotates from pit, and then fighting out these windows is going to be so easy for them once that power is off. I can't. I think it's a great plan, and if this is a round for Nakudama to win, this is it because I think the plan here is going to be 100% what they need. Now, the next question to that is going to be, can they find those kills, which so far has been kind of an issue for them. Found it a few, pardon me, but we do see Dylan with that mop looking to do some work too.
Yeah, Nakudama, I think right now, like you said, if they're gonna make an impact, this round is gonna be it. Again, the game's not over. It's 4-0, and like I said in the previous match, I've seen crazier games where you're down 11-0, um, and the enemy team just comes back, because you start to ease up a little bit. You start to relax, and Nakudama may be able to capitalize on that situation against Gnomes, but right now, Gnomes is in the driver's seat, and Nakudama's just starting to smoke out Beach as they walk up. Like you said, the mop is out from Nakudama. So let's see if Shadow can do anything with it. Trying to get a good little peek off from the outside here. Isn't seeing to find it.
Yeah, Shadow there with the saber. Dylan with the mop looks for a pick, doesn't find it. Whiffs on beach though.
And there goes the whiff, and it looks like Nakudama may be able to slowly push up. Dylan with the miss
Ooh,
again, and there's the pick that Nakudama was looking for. Can they capitalize on it in a 5v4 situation? Nakudama's going to slowly start pushing up, but it looks like Lewis is going to be able to catch him off. There goes the trade-off again, and just like that, Nakudama is on the retreat. 4v2. I think Shadow, if I was him, I would have just went on to beach and started playing with my team right there. I think he waited a little bit too long for this rotation on the beach, and it may come back to bite them.
yeah, I think Shadow here just needs to save. We're gonna have an easy, just cool next 40 seconds of this round. Um, Unfortunate there. I think one kind of rule of thumb, though, for whenever you take an eco round, you want to bring a nade, particularly for these barbs,
Shadow gets a pick.
because he does get one. Awesome. He's in castle. He might be able to make something happen here just in terms of eco damage. Never mind. He's back under the dome. Not going to happen. Not enough time. 20 seconds. Unfortunate. But he does get Clacker back, which is going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, and for you, Bacon, if you're Nakudama in this type of situation, going up against a powerhouse like Gnomes at this point, do you just go for the full out death ball like you've seen Gnomes do against you when they were attacking, or you just keep trying to play the slow game and hope something works?
I don't think the slow game is gonna work, obviously, because I don't think it is working.
Yeah,
It's hard to say that it's like, this is a strat you need to do when it's not working. You're down 5 rounds right now. Gnomes is just wiping the floor with Nakudama. And Nakudama has the potential to really be taking a lot of these rounds. I think they're just stuttering that like
hmm
you see when they get that upper hand. They had that 5v4. They're like, cool. They were feeling it. I think it was midship there with the saber. Or no, it was pardon me. It was Shadow with the saber down there on the south side. Wasted way too much time in castle. That
yeah.
door's blown. You know they're not going to be walking into those angles. In a casual, you might be experiencing that, but I don't think you're going to see that here against a team like Gnomes. I feel like that would a lot of the issues would have been prevented if Shadow had gone with them beach. I mean, granted, they had a huge opening pick there on Dylan, and they should have pushed that to the extent, but instead they just kind of they waited. The slow didn't work for them. I think they need to maybe not death ball, but really turn up the aggression. Because the thing with Gnomes is, Gnomes is going to play aggressive, and sometimes the best way to counter that is just to run at them even faster and just shoot them
Yeah.
while they're still sprinting at you.
If I'm, yeah, and I could agree with you. I mean, right here, if I'm Nakudama, Uh, I was hoping to see this from Gnomes, but it looks like Gnome just kind of sprinted at Nakudama on their attack phase. If I'm Gnomes here, they have been playing the slow game, and I would like to see them pick up the momentum a little bit. But I would also like to see someone going through reception. Break down that glass door, go through kitchen, come in through club, and at that point, maybe try to do a little sandwich situation that happens. You have most of your team come in through the office, breach it through, smoke it out, make your way to pillbox, and at that point, you have your man that came through kitchen and club coming for a little sandwich when you're in the kitchen. Make a sandwich, come in, and just sandwich them. And I think that may be the only thing that Nakudama can pull out in a situation like this right now.
Yeah, I think I could tell you and I are both thinking about lunch because now I'm just thinking about sandwiches.
Oh,
But
I know. I'm hungry, buddy.
talking about that, I don't think you need kitchen control as an attacker. I mean, granted, as much as I want a sandwich, I think Nakajima has a great plan here. Really quick, I just want to note on the differences in barbs. Same barb, different side of the door coming out here. Gnome's doing what I wanted Nakudama to do. Really like that. But they're looking like it's going to go down now. They're, again, holding that office very strong. But as we saw, Nakudama is bringing out one nade. I think they marked out two, but they're really trying to decide what to do. Yeah, they're bringing out both nades. They have the eco. This is their round to win. They got this. This is it.
And here they go. They're starting to rotate around for reception. Don't see anything at all. But there goes the shots coming out. Breaks the glass. And again, maybe they go through reception. One or two goes through reception. There goes the one into reception. He has a good opening. There are that a little door that he would have to kick down, but Dylan's taking the pot shot through kitchen. They haven't set anything up in the office door yet. So right now they're just playing it super slow, taking a few pot shots through the door. No big damage is coming through yet with wall bangs, but again, that could change at a moment's notice.
Yeah, we get the molly out. Door is gone. A lot of
But
exciting things going on.
look at Gnome. They're just
Patient.
they're so patient. Sharks in the water. They smell blood. They know what's happening. And there goes the auto shotty from Louis. And that may be all she wrote. Louis holding the office door. And he gets another. Gets a 4K from Louis before he goes down. And that is all she wrote for Nakudama.
6-0. 6-0. Oh no. Skoog coming in, cleaning up Shadow there after he gets Louis. But then Dylan kills Skoog while trying to get the same kill. They're really fighting it out now. For the culture, going with the TKs. But man. Oof.
Louis with the auto shotty. You know, the things that we're seeing Gnomes doing, I think me and you both were hoping that Nakudama did on their defense strats. I was hoping that Nakudama didn't play so far back on that bomb. And I was hoping they were kind of playing outside of office and pillbox. Maybe not with an auto shotty, maybe with a little bit more of an SMG, just to get that, because they are those newer players, and you would hate to see them pull out that auto shotty and not properly, do with it as you just saw Louis did. He just pulled it out and just kind of dumpstered all over Nakudama. So I think going into this potential final game-winning round, Nakudama just has to go in, have fun, not be stressed about it, and just try to pull out a play that they haven't done yet, right?
Well, I think we are going to see a play they haven't done yet. We're getting the double charge. They're going for that lights. Blowing storage, blowing in through dock as well. I like it. They understand they're on the ropes right now. They are in danger right now. This is it. They have to dedicate everything here, because if they lose this, it's over. So they're dedicating that double charge. One in storage, one on dock. I like it. Really going full on now. They will have to contest. Gnomes here putting a barb right outside of that storage door, right where power is. Gonna be very hard for them to push out of that. But with the combination of that blow and dock, the only thing they have to be really careful of is Gnomes. With how aggressive they are, I'm expecting if we have someone in dock or server farm, when that's blown, you just swing on whoever's there. Even with lights out, you can still see the outside. And there's no way to be protected here without playing so far back. Now we do see, I think that's what they're going to want to do with that saber, but not entirely sure. Nakudama is definitely trying to shake it up, do something different. I'd almost prefer them just to wall charge onto dock from storage, just because it gets them out of storage, no barb, gets them a better angle again, in my opinion, out of this stock. I'm not a huge fan of uh, what Gnomes is doing here. I think they could really get caught out here. They're very heavy on green. Nog dangerously close to dock number 3, playing around there. Might even be taken out by that wall charge.
Yeah, looking at it though, right now, so you have to think if you're Nakudama, you come in and you pull out these wall charges. You go say you win this round, you go in and you start to bottleneck yourself. But I think, like we said, they have no other option. They have to put everything they can because it could be the last round. Excuse
Oh,
me.
they might get a double here with that charge.
Looks like they're just slow
Oh
playing it.
no,
No damage that came out, but was able to pull some.
they get Nog.
There,
Nog's
Nog
down.
goes
Thunder.
down. And that may be the opening that Nakudama's looking for here. Nakudama's slowly playing it outside of storage and docks, taking those few little pot shots and seeing what they can do with the range. Sniper is out from Nakudama with the clacker, the same sniper that was saved.
Looks like they're leaving storage. They really want to make this push maybe from dock. No, they're going back around. Maybe green?
I
They have
think
a minute left. Do they have time to run around the whole map like that?
they've already committed everything to the rotation, Bacon. I think it may just be their kryptonite, them wanting to do this hard rotate. Going in, though, will it get the pick? Nakudama does get the pick, and they are in a 5v3, but they only have 40 seconds left. That may be all she wrote if they can't get to that bomb, probably in the next 10 seconds here. They're playing a little bit too slow, honestly, for what is left.
They have 20 seconds to get on that bomb. Brody's gone.
Oh,
Louis coming from behind. He gets one. He goes down.
and it looks
Man,
like that may be all
that's
she
it.
wrote for Nakudama. Honestly, I think the hard rotation around was the complete wrong call there. They took
Yeah.
way too much time. I think it took about 20 seconds for that hard rotate. And at that point, they were already up 2 kills outside of Doc.
Already up 2 kills, and also not to mention the you were already a good 30, 40 seconds into the round to call that rotate was just the wrong play. And I mean, talk about experience being the best teacher. Gnomes walking out of this 7-0, and Nakudama looking really worse for wear.
Honestly, going into this game, I don't want to say I don't think anyone expected it. Everyone loves the underdog story, and everyone was hoping for Nakudama to come out, at least swinging a little bit. But coming into it, we all know Gnomes was that experienced team. Nakudama, new to the scene, new to this competitive scene, but again, never count them out, because today, like you said, knowledge is everything. Knowledge is power, and this could just be the catalyst that they needed to boost them into the next level. They played against Gnomes, a very experienced, a very well organized team, and just going into these next couple games or next couple tournaments, they could honestly take some of Gnomes' strats they used against them and turn them into success stories.
Yeah, I mean, Nakudama has been around for a while. Hope to see them around again, but um, they have to change some of their approach to the game if they want to be able to compete with teams like Gnomes. And Gnomes is a good team. I do not want to take that away from them, but not what a lot of people would consider top contenders here. Just to put that skill gap into frame, but that's why we like. That's why I personally love this open type series because a lot of these lower teams now are getting the opportunity to perform against these big boys. TBD, a new team, really considered top contender depth, showing that they are still around and wanting to hang. But you know what? Just unfortunate Nakudama, just not their day, I guess. But Gnomes going on so far, really strong play from them.
Yeah, and like you said, it could just be a bad game from Nakadama because they did come out game number one that they had, and they won it against LCG, 7-4. It could have been we weren't watching that game. It could have just been an all out brawl, but they were able to pull out a victory at least today. So it could have just been a bad game against the Nobs going 7-0, but they can go into the next game, round three, and pull out a victory.
For sure. I got the stats, and I will say it's not pretty for Nakadama, but Louis, definitely the MVP for Gnomes there, going 10, 3, and 7. That's KDA. So only died 3 times, and then Louis and Dylan had 100% KST. I mean, just insane. And then Louis again going 176 ADR in attack and 289 on defense. I mean, really just pulling weight there and is almost 1700 damage, and no one else on his team got above 750 damage. Talk about a hard carry.
Yeah, and Gnomes just came out and performed to the best of their ability. And the same with Nakudama. Both teams played. I would just hope their hearts out in that game. But again, it's only game number 2 of the day. We have a few more games that we will be streaming out here. Um, how are you feeling so far, Bacon?
I'm a little shaken up by about what I just witnessed. It's kind of one of those things. It's like you just watch your dad get beat up and you're not sure how to feel about it yet. Um,
I don't know if we should call the cops, if we should call the ambulance. I
I
don't
I
know.
I don't know if that would be worse for them. Do I want to add insult to injury? But Nakudama definitely has to go back to the drawing board on this one.
Yeah.
Hope to see them again, and I think they have a good chance of still bringing it through because you can still lose one game in the Swiss and qualify. So Naku certainly in a position to possibly still qualify. But either way, we're going to throw it over to a quick break. Again, while we wait for this round of brackets to finish up, when you see the bracket, everyone, please be sure to request a game. It makes our lives so much easier if we know what you want to watch.
Yes, yes, yes.